Welcome back now. Some lucky people saw a giant blood-red sunrise. For others, the sky was dark and they saw nothing.
But earlier this week, we had the last eclipse of the sun to be seen from Ireland in 4 years. Here to tell us more is stargazer David Moore. Good to see you again, David. Happy
Morning,
New Year.
David.
Happy New Year.
Exciting week for you.
Very much so.
But
yeah.
unfortunately, not everybody got to see it because the elements were against us.
No, I was very lucky. I was one of the lucky few. We went up to Howth Head, just north of Dublin, and we were looking out over the sea. And it was mostly cloudy. But at the last minute, a thin strip of clear sky appeared just on the horizon, and the sun moved into it about 10 minutes after it rose. So we almost got the perfect part of the eclipse, the maximum eclipse. 40% of the sun was going to be covered. We got about 30, maybe a bit more percent.
OK, but you got to see an awful lot more than others did because...
Yeah.
There's a picture I took myself.
You took that
from
in
Howth Head. Yep,
OK, wow.
You can see a couple of clouds still in front of the sun,
yeah.
But it shows the big bite taken out of the left-hand side of the sun. That's the moon just in front of the sun. It's as simple as that. We now know what they are. Back in ancient times, they weren't so sure, and one astronomer who failed to predict an eclipse of the sun was beheaded. Doesn't tend to happen these days, I'm glad to say.
Thankfully. There's another shot that was taken.
There's another shot taken by Eamon O'Fearcon, I think. It was from Sutton, and he was there with us on Howth, one of our Irish-speaking members. He did an excellent job taking most of the pictures. We'll be putting all these in our magazine, and they're on the website too, astronomy.ie, if people want to go and check them out. And this is the kind of telescope we use. You need a special filter, as we have it at the front of this, which blocks out all the dangerous light and reduces the illumination. And I just took this camera and held it at the eyepiece of the telescope, pressed snap a few times. Eventually you get one where your hands aren't shaking. And it's as simple as that. You can actually do this. Somebody took a picture on the day with a camera phone.
Wow.
And it's not quite as good as the one you've just seen, but you can see the bite taken out of the sun very well.
Fantastic.
Well, I saw nothing. I just saw a bunch of clouds outside my window.
There were an awful lot of people, though, around the office who did see it and were quite excited about it as well. But it was a partial eclipse, and it's the last one for 4 years. Yeah,
there won't be another partial eclipse from Ireland anyway until March 2015.
OK.
And then, of course, people are always interested in total solar eclipses, which are extremely rare. The last one of those in Ireland was 1724. The next one won't be till 2090. But the only problem is you have to be in the extreme southwest of Ireland. The capital, Dublin, doesn't get an eclipse till the 5th of May in the year 2600.
And we'll miss that.
It'll probably be cloudy that day.
Yeah, and we'll miss it too.
Listen, we're on shots here. I think these are shots of the partial eclipse, from all around the world. Is that right?
It was rising here, and the eclipse was beginning to end as we saw it. But from other parts of the world, they got the full eclipse, especially far to the east. So we were over Asia in particular. You had a fantastic view of this eclipse. In 2006, Astronomy chartered an A320 Airbus, that's a 180-seater jet, and flew everybody to Turkey to watch a total eclipse of the sun. I was there myself, and it is definitely the most spectacular sight in nature. I will never forget it. There will be other total eclipses in inaccessible places, but in 2017 there's going to be one over the USA, and we're already thinking about planning that trip. So stay in touch.
So you don't know exactly where you'll need to go in the USA to be able
Actually, we do, yeah. You can predict with extreme accuracy where eclipses happen these days, thanks to computers. And we know Nashville is one of the hot spots to go for. There's plenty to see in Nashville, just in case it's cloudy, which was one of the fears we had when we went to Turkey. There was no guarantee of a clear sky. We went for a week just to make it into a holiday. And the first few days were lovely and sunny. We saw the eclipse on the next day, and the day after that it rained. So it's not only Ireland that can have weather problems.
OK, and of course eclipses have brought down the Roman Empire.
And today we know what eclipses are. We're not superstitious about them. They're lovely sights to enjoy. But in ancient times, the sun getting covered, and what happens in a total eclipse is day turns to night. I could see the stars in the sky back in Turkey in 2006, and this scared ancient civilizations enormously. As one astronomer got beheaded when he didn't predict the eclipse. But in ancient times, the Greek Empire, there was a war that the Greeks were involved in. They weren't doing too bad, but they turned back when an eclipse happened, and the opposing forces overtook them, killed 20,000 men, sunk 600 ships. This is over 2,000 years ago, and that was the end of the Greek Empire. They never recovered from that. And then the Roman Empire came along. Constantinople in the 15th century was the last stronghold of the Roman Empire, and that city fell when the eclipse happened and demoralized the defenders. The Middle East problem. In 1917, Lawrence of Arabia used a total eclipse of the moon to attack the port of Aqaba with 500 ill-trained Arabs, which turned the war around the area, shot him to fame, and he negotiated for an Arab nation with the British and French, who reneged on the deal and were left to this day with the Middle East problem. You can trace all kinds of human culture. That gives us the language, the culture we have today, to eclipses.
Incredible. A lot of stuff going on in our skies in the coming weeks. Jupiter is still there.
Yeah, Jupiter's fantastic. In the evening sky, the bright star, you see it all night long. And on I think we have a diagram showing on Sunday and Monday, this weekend, you'll be able to see the moon near Jupiter. So look at the moon, and the bright star, as you can see in the diagram there, is Jupiter. And if you take your binoculars and look at Jupiter, you'll see there's a faint star just to the right of Jupiter. That's actually the planet Uranus. You can't see it with the naked eye, so practically nobody in the world has seen it. You need a couple of signposts like Jupiter and the moon on Monday and Sunday, and you can join this elite club of seeing Uranus, another gas giant half the size of Jupiter. Less than 1% of the Earth's population, we're sure, has ever seen it on Sunday or Monday. Hopefully one or the other nights will be clear. And then the International Space Station is flying over as well tonight and every night until the 13th of January. That's Wednesday or Thursday next week. And if you text the word space to 57003, we'll send you the exact time to watch. It's a different time every night. $100 billion craft, 6 astronauts on board. You'll never see anything like it. It's the brightest thing in the sky when it flies over. And then on Monday night we have our New Year public lecture with the director of the European Space Agency, and all those details are on our website, astronomy.ie.
And Astronomy in Space is out at the moment.
Yep, the January issue is out now. It has some details of events happening this month, like the moon passing near to Jupiter, and the next month's issue, of course, is going to have all those pictures, especially the Irish ones, of the eclipse.
Fantastic.
Okay, David, as ever, thank you so much.
My pleasure.